Welcome back everybody to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the 2024 Volvo V60 Polestar Engineered. It is possibly one of the fastest Volvos that they make, and to make it even better, it's a station wagon, something we don't see that often anymore. So as usual, we're starting off with the front end. You can see we have these kind of hammer shaped looking daytime running LEDs that look absolutely fantastic. You can see we have the Polestar Engineer badge, some things that I'll explain in just a little bit what exactly that means, what exactly that comes with. But in essence, the Polestar Engineered is basically a tune shop. You can actually go online and see if, Polestar Engineering can take care and tune up your Polestar. If it can be enhanced, you can actually, there's a website that you can go and you can look at all that stuff. And if you have a Volvo that can be enhanced, maybe look into it, because I think they can pull some pretty cool performance out of the engine. But continuing with the front end, you can see we have a nice Volvo badge right there. We have a nice front-facing camera, parking sensors. I really like the front end. It looks really sporty, really aggressive. I'm a huge fan of this. I've always liked Volvo. Ever since the XC60 Recharge I drove, this is really nice to look at here. So before we move on, let's take a look under the hood. So this Volvo V60 is giving us a combined output of 455 horsepower, 523 pound-feet of torque. Remember when I said it was fast? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So let's kind of break that down and see what is doing what. So for the engine, we have a 2-liter direct injected turbocharged engine that's going to make 312 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Now onto the electric motor, we go about 64 kilometers. That's how much Volvo quotes as 64 kilometers on a full charge. This is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. And that electric motor is going to give us 134 horsepower and 228 pound-feet of torque. Now we also get an 8-speed Geartronic automatic transmission, and of course it's all-wheel drive. So now let's take a look at some of the stuff that Polestar Engineering. They improved throttle response and off-throttle response, gear shift speed, gear shift precision, engine performance, and torque for all-wheel drive. But basically, with the Volvo V60 Polestar Engineered, all of that kind of comes right from the factory, plus a little bit more as we go through the car. I'll show you what they are. So next, let's move on to the side profile for the Volvo V60. If I kind of zoom out here, you can see just how long it is, how kind of short and narrow it is, but it looks really, really nice. I've never really driven a station wagon before. This would be my first one, and I'm very happy to do it. So one of the Polestar Engineered things that we get here on the side, you can see it says Polestar Engineered, and we got Brembo yellow colored brakes. That comes with the Polestar stuff, which is very nice. Then we have the little port here for the plug. Very simple, easy to use, pops out. Really nice turn signal LEDs. These are very nice mirrors too. You have the sensor for the one-touch lock and unlock. So this is in fact keyless entry, which is very nice. Get a little sneak peek in there with the yellow seat belts. Really nice. The back wheel has a smaller brake pad or a smaller brake caliper, but still we keep that yellow, which is really nice to look at. I don't know, I'm just an absolute fan of the side profile, the front, the back, anywhere you want to look. It's fantastic. It looks great with this paint color with these yellow brakes here. Fantastic pairing. And last but of course not least, we have the rear for the Volvo V60 Polestar Engineered. We have it again. The badge is right there. Very nice. You don't see any exhaust. There's not this is a fast car, but it doesn't have necessarily an exhaust note to go with it. What we do get is a decent amount of torque and a whole heck of a ton of horsepower, so you can't complain. Now I got the Volvo badge right here, and then let's pop the trunk as a plane flies over. Pop the trunk, automatic tailgate, very nice as well. And we have a ton of room inside. You can really see. So you can see, because it is a station wagon, we do have kind of an extended trunk. We have a ton of space. You have a little pass-through there to pass stuff through. You fold the seats down. You're going to have a ton of room. Usually this is where I'll keep my charger, but I have that plugged in at home. It's a little wall outlet charger. No problem. Charging times are pretty long, but I've left it from, kind of night until late in the morning, and I've had almost a full charge, if not a full charge with the battery. So really good. So say 8 to 10 hours. So that's just about going to do it for the exterior tour of the Volvo XC60 Recharge. Let me know what you think in the comments so far, and let's hop into the interior. All right, as usual, let's start off with the rear for the Volvo V60. So you can see here, not a lot of detail going on. Bowers & Wilkins sound system though. Of course, the thing that's going to stand out throughout the interior is these yellow seat belts. Very nice. Let's actually hop in here, see how much space we're working with. really easy to get into. My seat is a little bit on the further back side, so there is that, but I still have plenty of leg room here. Very nice. I've got a vent right here for the, I don't have my own climate control back here, so the fact that I have this vent is going to be very nice. 2 USB ports, 2 heated seating settings. There is a middle seat because there is a seat belt. At first I didn't think there actually was, but whoever's sitting here is getting stuck on this, or you're going to have like 1 foot on the other side. We also have a sunroof, which is very nice. This guy, which is going to come down, and then you can press this, is going to fold that out. Super nice, very, very comfortable. I like the way the seats feel. I could do a road trip back here, no problem. I got pocket storage in front of me. I am sitting very nicely here in the back of the Volvo V60. I don't think spatial-wise you're going to have a problem. And it goes back to that saying, you don't want the smallness of a sedan. You also want the space of an SUV. So you got a wagon, and you really do have the best of both worlds. So let's hop up front, check out what's up there. Okay, next up we have the front seat for the Volvo V60. Now, same thing again, not a lot of materials, 2 memory seat settings, Bowers & Wilkins right here. Sound system, you can get a good look at the seat here as well. Yellow seat belt again. You have this guy that kind of can extend and stuff like that with the seat controls right down here. It's of course automatic for both the driver and the passenger, which is a nice touch. Seats are also very comfortable. Hopping in, very nice steering wheel. I like the Volvo. It's very simple. There's not a lot that's labeled here, right? So I either have my, my media controls on my right side and my cruise control stuff on my left. And then if I kind of zoom in here to the gauge cluster stuff, you can kind of see, well, it's either I have the map on or I don't. And that's it. And then you can also have your trip computer come up, but that's it. There's not much in terms of customization or really anything like that. What you see here is really what you're getting, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind it. Little heads-up display. You can kind of see it there. I like the feel of the steering wheel too overall. It just looks nice. It's simple, right? It's as simple as it was on the Volvo XC60 that I showed you, and it's even simpler on the V60. So very nice. Then we move over a little bit. You can see we have another Bowers & Wilkins speakers right there. Very nice sound out of these things. Absolutely wonderful. Then I move to the infotainment display right here where you can see a lot of stuff it's actually fully powered by Google. So, I have Google Maps built in. I even have YouTube built in so I can go and we can watch one of our videos while we're eating or something. That's really where the car kind of shines when you're stationary or if you're charging or whatever you're doing. 360-degree camera as well, which is very nice. I got all the angles, parking sensors. The only thing is like you can see there's not much in the way of buttons here. Like if we get close here, I have my front defrost, rear defrost, skip the track, play pause, volume knob here, and then skip the track the other way. So either fast forward, rewind, whatever it is. That's all you can do. Everything else is in the infotainment display center. It's right here. I can do everything. Everything works. It's very quick and I don't really have a problem with it per se, but I have a feeling that some people might. And I mean, it's fine for what it is. It works. It's powered by Google. The software is excellent. But yeah, if this glitches, you can't control your climate control. So that's going to be an issue for some people. Also, this is where you find your drive modes. You see I'm in Pure right now. I have Polestar, Hybrid. I'll kind of take you through all those. Other things are like creep, so I can have the car creep when it's in drive, so it doesn't actually drive like a one-pedal car, but I like to keep it like a thing. Like a EV. And then we have steering feel firm, which just kind of tightens up the steering. I like to drive like that. Maybe people won't. Then you have like different settings and stuff like that, but that's kind of that. There's like very basic settings. There's not a lot here that you can change and mess around with other than like the driving dynamics. But that's pretty much it. It's very simple. Then we move slightly lower. We have this nice crystal ball gear shifter that I like a lot. You can see the key fob here is even orange. You really can't miss that. You really can't lose this. I can see it all over my house. Very nice, elegant shifter, no problem there. I have this little start-stop engine button that I can like twist to turn on and off the car. Very nice. A little bit of storage, a very minute amount of storage actually, and then a good look at the passenger seat. It's a very nice seat. These are one of the best seats in the game actually. This is probably it's a very simplistic interior, but the thing about it is it's easy to use still while being simple, and that's kind of something that hasn't gone lost on the Volvo. It was very simple on the XC60 Recharge I showed you, very simple on the V60, but I actually don't hate that. I really like how simple it is, easy to use, easy to understand, and it's just fun. I like it a lot. So I've been telling you all video how fast this thing is, how it's a sleeper, how, all that stuff. So let's actually get to driving. Let's take it on the road. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, on the road now with the 2024 Volvo V60 Polestar Engineer. It's right near the end of the week, and I can say that I have really loved my time with this station wagon. It has been an awesome thing to experience because it's a sleeper. I mean, nobody knows that it can go that fast. Nobody knows that it has 455 and then it's like a really pretty dialed in car to actually drive around or to have as a daily driver. It's very, very cool to whip around town like I've been doing. And not to mention, since we do have the plug-in hybrid system, it's pretty fuel efficient as well. Now it's funny, it's like I have adaptive suspension technically because there's like little things in the front that I can pop the hood and like turn these dials to kind of adjust the front dampers, but like there's no button inside the car for it, whether I'm, it's really all outside. And I think to adjust the rear dampers, you actually have to jack up the car, which is funny because like I'm pretty sure they could have just put a button to do that automatically. I don't know why they would make me open the hood. It's cool though, but it's also interesting. I've never seen it before, and I also haven't played with it because it's not my car. I don't own it, so it's kind of hard to kind of get up in under the hood and tinker with stuff. But let me show you what Polestar mode does. So instantly you can hear the engine kick on. I'll give it beams right now, full beams. So basically the battery kind of gets me going, and then there's almost no delay in boost from the engine because the engine's had time to kind of get ready to engage. So, the battery gives you that initial like launch off the line, and then you get the engine to kick in. So this thing is extremely quick off the line, and then I think it maintains its speed over time simply because of the fact that it has the engine kick in. So like you get like that bang of an electric vehicle, but then you also keep your speed thanks to the engine kicking in. Like I said in the beginning, the back wheels are powered exclusively by the battery, so that the battery doesn't have any access to the front wheels, and that's why when I'm actually kicking it off the line, I can really feel myself get pushed from the back. And then the engine kicks in, and then you can kind of feel all the wheels start to engage. And I think this would still be good in the winter and stuff like that, although now we're approaching spring, and it's very much spring weather today, nice and sunny out. I think this would be perfect in the winter. I mean, I think it would handle it very well. I think it would handle it just as well as any SUV would. And like see there, like cornering is very good. Like obviously I don't have a bunch of feedback from my steering wheel. This isn't like super tuned in, super dialed in like, a track car would be, because this isn't like, I mean, you could take this on the track, no doubt. The Brembo brakes, this would perform in that environment. But I just think it's more of like a fun car that also meets like, maybe spatial needs because your family needs space, and also cargo needs because you have a good mix of like rear seat space and trunk space. Now, ride quality is pretty good. When I'm really bumping and bouncing around, you can kind of tell what's going on. Like, so there's at times where it'll be kind of bouncy, and you do notice that when you're going over big potholes. And that, again, I'm pretty sure can be adjusted if you know what you're doing with, to adjust the actual front dampers. I'm sure that can be adjusted, but like in the current, I think I have it like factory setting. It's a little bit on like the bouncier side than what I think something like the XC60 was, but still extremely comfortable. Like it's not so bouncy as to the point like where it bothers me at all. It is just bouncy. That's kind of the best way to say it. Like maybe you'll see it now as we come up to a stop. And also as I come up to a stop, you can see I have it in B mode there in my gauge cluster, which means I have one pedal driving engaged. So I can basically let off the accelerator a little bit here, and I'm just going to start to slow down, and I can come to a complete stop just like this. And then we keep going, and I'll show you kind of, as long as there's nobody behind me, how I can kind of kick this into like, so when I'm not really going anywhere, boom, the electric motor from a lower speed really gives you that initial like bang, versus when you're already rolling, the battery kind of can't do much more for you. So you saw before when I gave you the performance test, it was like I was kind of already had some speed to me, but like if I stop at a stop sign and then absolutely run it, it's a complete difference. So again, going relatively slow, and boom, the thing just wakes up the second you need power. And that's really fun to do, going from like a really low speed. You really have to get it in that low speed to hear it. And the engine, I mean, you don't really hear it, which is a bit unfortunate. Now you can see I'm kind of bouncing around, going over some bigger potholes here. But the engine, you don't really hear it as much as you'd like to. Like I'd love to hear it shifting a little bit more. Maybe I'd like a bit of a more of aggressive exhaust sound, but that's why I mean it's like a sleeper, because of the fact that it doesn't shift aggressively, it doesn't pop, it doesn't like rattle, it doesn't do any of that stuff. So let's see if we can hear the engine noise at all. It'll be quiet for a second. I'm going to bang it. You could hear it more there, but I mean, like, so the engine, it's not a loud exhaust. It does sound good. It's not like badly tuned or anything. It's just boring in the terms of like acceleration. You really get more of the acceleration from the battery, and then the engine kicks in. But I just feel like it would have been more flashy if they did that. It would have been less under the radar. This is very much under the radar speed, so I could just absolutely gun it, and I'm not going to rattle, I'm not going to pop and bang or anything like that, but I am going to get fast. I mean, nobody knows that I have 455 horsepower. To the untrained eye, they don't know I have performance Brembo brakes, they don't know I have a front strut, they don't know I have better shift performance, they don't know, like, if you don't know what you're looking at, this just looks like a normal station wagon. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, but if you do know what you're looking at, you know that this has 455 horsepower under the hood with its battery combined, and it can absolutely fly. And I think that's the magic of it. It's one of those, like, not an EV but an EV kind of thing, where it's like an EV, again, super fast, nobody knows you're doing it. Same thing kind of with the Volvo, but it does have a little bit of an engine noise. So that's just about gonna do it for my thoughts on the Volvo V60 Polestar Engineered. It is fantastic, plenty of room. It is the perfect solution if you don't want a sedan because it's too small, but you also don't want to be a big SUV. The station wagon is where it's at, and this is the best station wagon I think money can buy right now, because it is so speedy, so nice looking. These yellow seat belts are an excellent touch, the yellow brake calipers, the performance you get out of this thing, all really, really nice things to have, and it doesn't hurt that you can absolutely rip it. And you don't even have to disobey the speed limit. Like, you can go a little bit over, but you feel like you're going fast because you got that crazy acceleration, that crazy hit in the face from that electric motor. It's just great. I love it so much. I mean, people are going to probably complain about the price, and you know, it is $77,000, and that is a lot of money, but hey, if you can afford it, you're going to have a good time, and you might save a little bit of money at the pump. So that's good too, because this is a hybrid system. So I'm doing like 4 liters per 100 kilometers, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, there you go. That is going to do it for the Volvo V60 Polestar Engineered. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like station wagons? Do you not? I want to hear everything that you think. I personally, big fan of it now. Didn't know it existed, but now that I do, I'm a huge fan of it. It's been so much fun to drive this week. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, make sure you go and watch another video. I've got plenty of cars at this point. Been doing this for over a year consistently. And let me know what you want to see. If you want to see like different style of video, different style of anything, you let me know in the comments, and I'll try to bring it to you with these cars. If you want to know what it's like to live a week with the Polestar, with the V60 Polestar Engineered, that video will be up shortly after this review is, so you can check that out as well. With that being said, I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.